Welcome back to the program. Ask yourself, have you got a beer belly? If you do, then it's time to do something to lose that tummy.
Oh, exactly. It's not just for the looks, but more importantly for your health. And that's because when it comes to weight problems, it's not just how much fat you've got, but where it really matters.
And people with visceral fat, also known as organ fat, are much more likely to develop health problems than those with normal body fat.
That's right. And to tell us more about killer fat, we have Dr. Alvina Nam, who's in the studio with us this morning. Thank you for joining us. First of all, can you tell us exactly what is this killer fat?
Visceral fat. Visceral fat is actually the fat that's found in your abdomen, right inside, packed in between the organs and around the organs like the kidneys, the liver. And they're quite different from the subcutaneous fat that's really beneath your skin. The visceral fat is the one that gives a person the protruding abdomen and gives them a beer belly, and also the body shape like a pear instead of the apple.
And what is so dangerous about visceral fat that we call it killer fat as opposed to, the fat just beneath your skin?
Well, they found that the visceral fat has been associated with the insulin resistance, which gives rise to diabetes, coronary heart disease, high cholesterol, and high triglycerides level.
Is it more difficult to get rid of than your normal fat?
Yeah, possible. Yes, you probably need to exercise a little bit more. Normally, if you can do a brisk walk 30 minutes a day for 1 week, you probably would reduce it a little bit. But if you do a little bit more than that, you can reduce it a little bit further.
Now, are there certain groups of people who are more prone to such problem and the risk involved? Or is it everybody, pretty much are susceptible?
Generally, if a person is living a sedentary life and is eating a diet that's high in saturated fat, they will always be prone to developing visceral fats. But there's certain groups of people who are much more prone to it. Men, for example, tends to accumulate weight around the abdomen, and women generally do not until they're after the menopause. Then they start to develop fat around the abdomen.
Why is that? Is it the hormone levels that comes into play?
That's right. Because when they reach the menopause, the female hormones start to reduce.
Okay.
And when that happens, they tend to adopt almost like a male body shape.
So organ fat is very dangerous, something that we should look out for. How do you know how do you know how much fat you have?
Well, the most accurate method is the MRI and the CT scan, but that really is quite impractical. We can do simple measurements, waist circumference. For men, if they're more than 40 inches in waist circumference, that's too high. For female, be more than 35, or do a waist-hip ratio. But nowadays, they do have equipment that's a bit more sophisticated.
Doctor, we have the
exactly. And we're going to do a demo right here, and I'm going to put myself to the test and get on this machine that we have here in the studio. So all I have to do is to stand on the weighing machine.
Yes.
And what do I do?
Well, I would have key in your basic details, like your age and...
We've already taken some preliminary measurements.
That's right. And then you hold it up.
Okay. And
after a while, the figures will be there. Yeah.
And what is it showing, and what is it? Am I healthy? Am I not healthy?
Well, your visceral fat is 14%. Normally, it should not be above 9%.
Oh, dear.
So you're too high.
I'm too high. Okay, I should do something about that.
That's right.
Okay. And how accurate is a machine like that?
It's pretty accurate. They're going by the bioelectrical impedance, so taking account of the fact that fat tissues have much more resistance compared to other tissues.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Okay.
Doctor, you said 14%. Is that on the danger level? I mean, what's the range that we're looking at?
Well, anything less than 9% is okay. 10 to 15% would just say it's moderately high, and more than 15%, I think that guy's got to be really careful.
Does it say something about your diet, lifestyle?
That's right. A diet are usually high in saturated fat.
So how can a person like me reduce visceral fat?
Well, start exercising.
Oh, obviously.
Doing your regular, at least 30 minutes of brisk walk every day for a week. Every week. And also the diet, you got to reduce on your hard fats like the butter and the lard.
Some people will ask, what about liposuction? A surgical procedure.
Liposuction it does remove fat, but it removes subcutaneous fat.
Okay, so it doesn't apply to visceral fat.
No.
Okay, we're running out of time now. Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming in. Thank you, Don, for being such a,
Yeah, putting myself on the line and telling the whole, yes, I got to stick to my New Year's resolution. Well, we've been talking to Dr. Alvina Nam on the dangers of visceral fat and how you can try and reduce that and
risk
for your sake of your health.
Okay, coming up next after the break.